nearest leads to the one who gets a hole in one. I've had a few close ones recently. I think I've had 2 or 3 that have been like point 0.2 and point 0.3 away. So yeah, I've had 2. I've had 2 of them. Don't mind, Frank. I don't mind. I can play shit anywhere, you know that. Alright. Was it the 18-hole Pebble Beach one? Yeah, I started off quite well. I think I was 4 or 5 under on the front 9, and I'm like, "Ah, this is decent, this," you know? And I think I got 2 bogeys, or I might have been a bogey and a double bogey. I'm like, "You useless git," you know? I'm thinking, "Bloody hell," you know, I was on for a decent score, but it's up to you, Frank. Honestly, I'll play any. I really don't mind. Here you are. But, oh, I had a word with Jess as well, said about tagging the OOMs onto the awards ceremony. She went, "Oh, yeah, yeah, lovely." She went, "It's a great idea." So, recognition. Yeah, correct. So, obviously, there won't be awards weekly, you know what I mean? But for the whole event at the end, you know, there'll be, and I'll split it per division as well. So there'll be the winner of the OOM Division 1 and the winner of the OOM Division 2. And then there'll also be you know, a winner of the medal. This is where I was thinking anyway. You know, medal winner Division 1, medal winner Division 2 for all of the I won't do the major because the major gets thinged in its own right anyway. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the same as the other one. That's just for Division 1 players. You know, so there'll be an outright winner. Where it's just division specific, there'll just be an outright winner, you know what I mean? But where it's over like the medal, we all play in the medal. I'll split them out to. Because I'm also gonna change the tables as well, Frank. Yeah, so that, like, when I report the medal table, for example, well, yeah, well, all of them, I'm gonna split the medal out to Division 1 and Division 2, you know, like the overall table is. So because I know quite often you're going and looking to find, which legend's the highest f placed legend and which one's the. So I'm like, "Well, if I split them out, you know, and, so I'm gonna do that as well because 'cause I've got nothing else to do." She out last night. Uh,
That's a
oh,
huge
bank holiday section.
drive.
I don't know how it's gone that far, mate. I really don't. A blackened, we'd call it. Going out on a blackened bank holiday weekend. You only go out all day and all night. I'm not using my new irons yet, so 'cause I'd play absolute bollocks with them. Yeah, I'd be going from a 3 iron that's 215 yards to a 3 iron that's 225. I wouldn't have a clue what the clubs hit. So yeah, I'm surprised Pete's not in because he's logged in as well. I thought he'd have. I don't know. You don't see him in Discord? Oh. Oh, no, it's Fippo. Sorry. Sorry. Looney Sylvester, sorry. Ah, right. 107 wind width. Short, 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 short. Well, yeah, because it's you and I, isn't it? Or did you just pick it as random? But yeah, yeah, so we're on 12 greens. That's one of the things I need to level up a bit for, so I'm playing on 13s more often. Can't hear a word, Frank. I didn't hear anything. No, uh, didn't hear an output. You put us. Oh, I'm gonna say you've put us on Twitch and you've just done the wrong meter. Unlucky man. Yeah, blame the missus. This is definitely a key we put. Yeah, didn't come back. But he was an Excel player. He was a bit of a whinging bugger, that Tim K something or whatever it is. Tink or something, I don't know. But yeah. He was a bit whingy in the forums and in Discord and stuff. Yeah, he was. I don't know. A bit. Well, I mean, for me, the more the merrier. But it's just like some of the stuff he kicked off about. I'm like, I mean, he wasn't major, but he was. I think he felt left out. But when people was organising games and stuff, and it's start again, they'll be playing an alt shot, the four of them. And then he'd pop into the room and say, "Oh, I'll have a game." They're like, "Oh, we're in the middle of an alt shot," and he's like, "Oh well, I want to play," and I'm like, "Does so it was that sort of thing, you know what I mean?" Where he was a bit, "You and me both, mate." But yeah, so yeah, they had some cracking Scott, and they left a few out there as well. You know what I mean? Which is even more scary. But I mean, that PGA guy. I mean, you got to. He had two par five eagles on the back nine. So imagine if he hadn't have had them, Carl would have been a. You know, yeah, yeah, yeah. That just killed him with it, didn't it?
Good ball.
Yeah, I missed that one. That was the one where the lagging was, so I didn't see that one. Yeah, there was 2. I think he did it twice, didn't he? I only saw 1, but yeah, I only saw 1, but right. Yeah, well, when he first started, his putting wasn't the best at first, and I'm like, "Ah, yeah, golden putter Wally," you know what I mean? You know? And then he started holding them, I'm like, "Oh, maybe he can play a bit." I've seen a couple, I haven't seen a lot. I've seen a couple. So it is strange to see, Thun players from the Thunder Chickens either getting whooped or getting run really close because it's so used to seeing them just, walk over people, you know? Ends up where you're like, "Ooh, didn't expect that." Like Stuman, he scraped a draw, didn't he? Go on, Frank, go on. Oh, you gone along? Yeah. 275 yards, wind against, yeah? Yeah, and you still go along. This is what bugs me sometimes with WGT, you know what I mean? I'm like, I know for a fact there's no way my 3 wood hits 268 yards. Even though it's only slightly uphill, but it's 268 yards, wind against. There's just no way. So I should never, ever in a million years be long on this hole with this next shot, which I probably won't be now I've said it. No, no, I shouldn't. Um, yeah, that's where I should be. 42 yards, uphill 4 foot. 42, 43, stick 5 on, 48, 15, 30, 45. Need to learn the winds a bit more, take a bit more note of them. Yeah, because I'm getting the distances not too bad most of the time. Some I still get wrong, but I end up being the right distance, but I'm still like 3 yards away because I've allowed too much left or too much right. Or apologies if you can hear my vape because I need to put the shot run out of fags.
On the
Oh,
dance
nice shot.
floor.
Oh, he pitches. Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. You're starting to get confident. You'll end up where you will end up being disappointed if they don't go in, rather than you know. Yeah. Exactly. Cheers, my mate. And you, bud. You were close to that eagle there. We playing off short and Tizi here as well, or something. Because the views from the green from the tee look different to me. Might be just me. I don't know.
That's in the garden spot.
Okay. Championship tee, black. Yeah. I was just gonna say the same. Yeah. I stand there, I'm like, oh man, I can't hit this, I can't hit that, I can't hit the other. Yeah. I hate the par threes. Anytime I come up and it's banded, I'm like, oh shit. Especially if the wind's strong as well. I'm like, may as well just give me a -10, you know. Sorry, a +10. I'll happily walk off with that. That'll do me.
Good.
79. Cheers, my mate. Every once in a blue moon. Yeah, just playing a bit more, getting a bit more. Yeah. What legal force or whatever. He seems a good player. He has, yeah. There's been a huge uptake in the mag this week, which is strange. It's good. Just don't get me wrong. It's good to see. What more? Yeah, bless him. Because unless you look on WGT on the internet page. Oh, okay. And there's like there's a little arrow underneath when you list the tournaments. Unless you click on that and open it up, it doesn't actually show you the time. You want to know the time, yeah, because like it finishes on the 1st of May. Well, what time on the 1st of May? Because I don't know. I don't know where the bloke is or what country he's in. Or 'cause he might think, all right, I'll play them tomorrow night, for example, but they might close tomorrow morning if you know what I mean. Oh, it stopped dead. So it looked like it skipped forward half a yard and then boom, stop. As for the stars, Frank. Well, I don't think this for Kiowa. I don't think this could be any straighter. Oh, still went left a bit. Oops. Oh man, I still managed to get it to go a bit. Thanks, my mate. Thank you. But it is nice when you're watching some of the good players, well, some of the really good players playing when they're hitting shots into greens and the sort of like they leave it, I don't know, 25 foot away or
That's
something,
a
and I'm like,
huge drive.
I like to see that because that's what I tend to do. I always think of them when they're playing that every shot into the green, yeah, and they leave it. They're not other, you know. The difference is that they make a bigger percentage of the putts than we do. Yeah, yeah. But
Way to grip it and rip it.
boom.
That's a huge
Oh,
drive.
we want to be together. Yeah, we want to be. Yeah, yeah. The Brummies, we want to be together. That was one of the best things about the uh, early 80s to the early 90s. Some of the TV adverts they had were just superb. You don't seem to get them as much now. You know what I mean? Where they make you laugh and the likes. 51. I'll be about the same as you, won't I? Is this the one that played? I know there's one of them on Kiowa, and I've even heard some of the good players say it on WGT sites. Is the shot? It can either there's one of the holes on Kiowa where you can either be 10 yards short or 10 yards long, and you can play the same shot over and over on the same hole with the same wind, and very nice shot. Was it the last one? I think you might well be right. 150, 7.9 wind with. I make that. I can play a bit. I don't play enough. You know what I mean? To be consistent with it. That's my problem. And most times I'm happy with that. You know, what I mean, I just play for the social side of it, Frank, more than anything. But at times I do get frustrated. I'm like, yeah, like we all do. Yeah, I'm a bit like that. At times I think, oh, I'll just play it to get it out the way. And then after two holes, I'm like, oh, there's 16 to go. I did all. They're all finished 2 days ago, I think. That's ridiculously bad. That was shite. Shite, 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 shite. Um, I can never remember my scores on the rounds. It's one of those where if you don't take that last dot into account, it'll just miss the hole. And if you do take it into account, it'll go straight and it'll miss the hole the other side. It's I don't know. Okay, Whitman. Oh, that'll do you. Nice one, mate. Yeah, I did a Frank there. Whack it. That one on Chambers, that hole in one. I was just couldn't believe that one. It was unbelievable. I wish I. Yeah, yeah. Another par three with a green. It slopes. No, but there was one where on that hole. I mean, I've had a hole in one on there, but there was another. Oh no, I'm telling a lie. It was on St Andrews, one of the par threes on Andrews, and cracked it, and it was. I'm just watching it and watching it, and it went straight in the hole and bounced straight back out and off the green. I'm like, what? What happened there? So what was before you could watch the replays. Yeah, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, "What the fuck?" Are we long? Yeah, just to work out par trees. Sorry, Frank. Yeah, the thing is, though, I spend a lot of time doing it, and I hit the shot. I'm 30 yards short. I'm like, shit. Right line, wrong distance. Oh, well. It's on the green. They are. They are. Excuse me. Flashing out, getting you everything. Oh. Once they're done, they're done. I know they're a pain in the ass. Come round. Ooh. It did, but it was just a bit late, wasn't it? We ended up behind the hole, which generally isn't a bad thing, is it? Yeah. I haven't heard it. Well, I neither do I. But there is one that's appeared when you go to play called that one that Bede mentioned, VMSO or whatever it is. I haven't played it. I haven't looked at it. But I don't know, mate. I haven't got a clue. I haven't even looked. I haven't even looked.
Drained it.
Thank you. You know what, Frank? I'm missing that by a mile. I mean, how it went in, I've got no idea. I can just see I can just see the view from the back. I can't see because I'm watching opponent. You know what I mean? So I can't see it. Solid par. I know. I know. Well, it's the way to be. Yeah, I'm disappointed if I have any squares on my card. I'm like, it's a sign you're improving. You know what I mean? I mean, you've improved massively over the last 5 or 6 months or so when you first started.
That's in the garden spot.
Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's how you learn. How you learn. Whereas me, I've stayed the same probably for the last 2.5 years. I haven't got any better. I haven't got any worse, and it's because I haven't started doing the things I know I need to do to improve. You know what I mean? It does, and it's like I said, it's my little footnote on pro boards. You know, when you have that little mine is, and it's like don't well, one of them is don't hit it harder, hit it better, especially with the golf. You know what I mean? When you
Good
stood there,
ball.
and the other thing is, I mean, maximum enjoyment for minimum effort. You know, I, I'd enjoy getting a couple less every round, it'd be great for my score, yeah, fab. But would I enjoy the game anymore or the taking part? No, I wouldn't, you know? So, that's the same as me, yeah. Aye. Yeah. It's like me with Jonas when Jonas is like this and that and the other, and I'm like, I'm not knocking the guy, far from it. I think he's a lovely guy. But yeah, but he really wants to be up the top, you know what I mean? Which is fab, hey, but I'm just not like that purposely. Because if I started being like that, I know I'd go down the rabbit hole of just, I'd be Kane in WGT, and I'd be, "Are we going past again? Stop, stop, stop." If I'm ever like that, especially if the pin's towards the back, I always try and go under, Frank, and I was same in real golf, but, right now, my 8 iron full backspin, right, goes 130, but with this club, right, I've had this before with this club, sometimes it can go 160, right, which is yeah, so I'm like, "Ugh." But it's my 3 wood, and this 8 it's my 3 wood sometimes, my 3 iron sometimes, and this 8 iron with full backspin does it as well at times. So I'm just gonna knock a bit off it as well, just to let the wind with as well anyway, so look at that. Fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 138. I know the wind was with I played with full backspin, which is 130, and I knocked about 8 or 10% off the power, and it's still anyway, doesn't matter. Moral of the story is I should have played my 9 iron 124. That's what it is. And then you punch, I'll flop. Don't let Jonah see you. Does it work out to 40 to 50? Just asking. Right, okay, okay. Yeah, it's only a practice round, so it's out. Oh, nice shot. Good effort. Good effort, man. 6 yards, uphill 7 inches. Oh, bugger. We both nearly had a moment, mate. Oh. Correct, correct. I know, I know. Yeah, I used to be absolutely terrible at them. I still get them wrong now and again, but what did it for me was, a guy that I used to play with all the time called Dan, and, just 2 seconds, I'll just give this a belt. And, it was him that said to me about flopping, and you know when you're playing
That's
your
a
shot and you and
huge
you have the blue
drive.
bars either side of the ding, yeah? But it was him that taught me that with flopping, if you where the very first where the very start of the blue bar is, if you stop it there when you're playing your flop shot, it goes straight, yeah? Which I didn't it never dawned on me. So, once I learned that, I'm like, "Ah, right." So, because the amount of times, you're aiming like a couple of squares right to allow for it to, yeah. So that meant I could hit my flop shot straight. And he was the one that then said, he said, "You play them with full backspin," he said, "and just stick like 2 yards on." He said, "Have a bit of a practice with it, depending what balls you've got." And from that sorted my flop out. So I'm like, "Ah, right, I understand how that works now." So I flop from anywhere, even if it's rough, anything like that, full backspin, add 2.5 yards on,
That's a
yeah,
huge
and then
drive.
add a little bit more depending on what rough you're in and stuff. And it generally gets me there or thereabouts all the time, and I don't have to think about it. I was just correct, correct. Yeah, 9 to 11 win. Might get an green here. In fact, I might have to take some off. You have? I'm gonna take a bit off this. Watch me be short now. Get up, 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 get up. Ah, nearly, nearly. That's alright. I'll put that next to the pin, sink it for you know, a GO for a birdie. Yeah, you've been past me a couple of times, and, I have that at times, Frank. Sometimes I'm driving, I'm like, "Bloody hell, it's gone a country mile." That'll be on. Go on. Go on. Oh, 20 yards. So, do I play a flop or do I play mm, winds with? So, sorry, I'm just talking to myself.
Dance floor.
That'll do.
On the dance floor.
The better one. There you go, mate. Excuse me. Yay. Nice one, Frank. I know, every time we come to this, you say it every time. No, 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 not at all. 6, 12, 18. Right. 245 we're at off the tee, yeah? Say 240. %95 full backspin on a 3 would on a winds with a bit as well. It's a little bit less. Ooh, it's gone right. Yeah, happy with that. But it went further right than I thought, you know? I was aiming, just so you know, I mean, we're only playing for fun. I was aiming right on the left edge of the green, like pin high, but right the left edge of the green, and I nearly dinged it. So, and I've gone way right. So that helps you out a bit. I've done that on here a couple of times. Join me, I think. Putting competition. Oh, perfect length, 244. Put it on your notes with the make a note of the wind, and then you'll know for next time. That's the other thing. I'm just too lazy. I can't be asked making all these notes and stuff, and it's just like, right. Yeah, yeah. I don't play any of them. Right, Kiwa, you owe me one. Come on. That would have been. I've leaked at least one, maybe it's two. That's not turning enough. Ah. I mean, to be honest, yeah. It's like I've always said, Frank, me, if I'm playing my average sort of game, I'm about 4 under for 9 holes, give or take, you know? I don't yeah, 33 thing. Yeah, well, my range is somewhere between -4 and +2. That's generally, if I'm playing crap, it's +2. And if I'm playing my normal sort of game, maybe it's -3, -4. If I'm playing really well, like -6 at times, but they don't come about often. Go in. Have you done the same as me? You have. It was just whether it was going to come back that bit at the end or not, and it just stayed straight, same as mine did. It, it's because it will because you're hitting the ball with more pace, even when the ball first starts. You know, it yeah, yeah, correct, correct. Yeah, it's good, man. I enjoy having a little knock on a Sunday. So it reminds me when I used to play golf. It was always Sunday mornings. Yeah, I've been in some states getting picked up to go and play golf on a Sunday morning, I can tell you. Oh, rolling in it happens. Yeah. Yeah, Keith's knocked on the door, and I opened the door, and he looked, and he went, "Gone. You went out after the pub, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah. Time to get home." An hour ago. And then go I think I've told you the story. You know, best round of golf I played, and I can't remember 3/4 of it. We were, I generally mark the cards for everyone as well. I'd mark the 4 people because they all couldn't be arsed and playing Staplefoods, and they couldn't work it out. They'd be like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'll just do it." And, but this one time, I'm like, Keith, Keith, you mark the cards." And I really can't remember anything from the first 9, 10. I think I think it was the 11th or 12th when Keith went, "You're playing well." I went, "Am I?" He went, "Yeah, you're having a cracking knock." I'm like, "Well," I said, "Well, no, I've had a couple
Good
of
ball.
birdies." I think I was something like 3 or 4 under. I'm like, "Whoa, this is good." I'm like, "Whoa, this is good." Brilliant. And then I went bogey, bogey, double bogey, or something like that. As soon as I knew, it's just psychological. As soon as he told me, I'm like, you know, so you just screwed the rest of my game up. But I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the round at all until like the last 4 or 5 holes. Be nice. Be nice. Are we long again, Frank? Long again, mate. Yeah, the PC shit. Right, 183. Better to be short than long. So hey, on the green. Fringe would have done, but we've both got a chance. Both got a chance. Go on. Go on. Oh, you bugger. I thought that was in there, mate. I really did. Oh, 0.5. Right. This is the one key who owes me. I say it all the time. But right, here we go, Frank. Do it, Frank. Come on. I didn't turn again. Look at that. Okay. Oh, not to worry. Cheers, my mate, and you. Been a good. Both played decent. Both played decent. I agree. You know, we both. I think we both left at least one, maybe it's two out there for sure. I think I could have got down to 30. I think you could have got down to 31, maybe. Yeah, yeah. I just enjoy having the knock, mate. To be honest. Yeah. Oh no. Well, that's definitely one that you shouldn't have. That's one shot, so that would knock you down to what 30, 33. And there was a couple more putts that were just, they weren't a million miles.